All right, it's that time. You know it. You love it. It's time to talk a little ball with Hall. My guy, Coach Antonio Hall, Q92 Sports. Let's bring him into the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Antonio, how you doing?
Sammy,
Where are you coming from today? Let everybody know where you're coming from today.
I'm coming from Sarball Land down here at Fairless, talking to the Fairless Falcons today after practice. They had a great practice today, getting ready for Triway, having a great time.
So you're going to impart some words of wisdom on the young flock today, huh?
I'm trying, as much wisdom as I have, it's limited.
Hey, whatever you give them, they're going to take it and run with it, and they're going to pick up a big one. Hey, before we get into all the stuff that we got coming up here today, how about Fairless and their season so far, and Coach Sarbaugh? And we've talked a couple times, Antonio, what he's kind of built down there, and they just kind of every year they add another layer of traditions, of high caliber play. Just a love for football, the Breitwieser Stadium, kind of the place to be down there on a Friday night. How is that going now? And where do you think they can, when I say they, I mean AJ and the administration, the football in the program, how far can they take those things?
I think they can take it as far as they want to. I have a tremendous amount of respect for AJ and his dad, the whole Sarbaugh family. We've been friends for a long time. We talked often when I was a head coach. We always sat together at coaches' functions, and I'm just honored that he asked me to come talk to his team. His team right now is 3-2. Their only losses are to a 4-1 Oroville team and a 4-1 Claymont team. They have a high-powered offense, averaging 38 points a game. They have some dudes, man, like Cam Carl. He does it all. Wide receiver, defensive back, kick returner, punt returner. You can't touch him in the phone booth. And Jack Kirby, their running back, he runs hard. He reminds me a lot of Shepard from Perry, just the way he runs. He's a downhill guy. But they got a big one this week at 4-1 Triway. I think they're going to get it done.
I hope they do. I think that could be a shootout. That could be a 40-30 kind of deal, and we'll see if the Falcons can pull that. You talked about Carl. How tall is he, Antonio? Is he about 6'6"?
No, he's not that tall. He's tall, but he's not that tall. He's probably maybe 6'3".
Who am I thinking? Somebody had a real big, just monster tight end in the area. They just throw the ball up there, and I must be thinking about another small school. But
they have Shavely. He's their tight end, defensive end. He has some D1 offers.
Okay.
Only a junior, so that might be who you're thinking of.
Okay.
Shavely, Snavely. He's a good looking kid.
All right. Well, we wish the Falcons all the best of luck, and give AJ a little fist pump before you leave down there tonight. We'll see if they can get things rolling. All right, week 6, here we go, my man. Week 6 is upon us, and let's talk Hoover and Lake. Just a quick look back last week. Lake, no problems with Glen Oak, but Hoover, Louisville, man, some tough news out of both camps there, Coach. Yeah. I mean, Wilson goes down for Louisville. Collins goes down for North Canton. Yeah. What do you see for both those teams as they have to move forward, obviously, next man up, but what do you see in their immediate future?
Yeah, I mean, well, first things with Hoover, it starts on defense. I mean, their defense is only giving up 10 points a game, but don't forget about their offense because they're averaging 39 points a game. Collins, Bianchi, Lamlin, they all were involved heavily with the run game. Who impresses me a lot is Jack Andes. I mean, he's becoming their primary wide receiver. He's a speed demon. I know he's a baseball guy, but he's one hell of a wide receiver too. But yeah, I mean, anytime you have to overcome your starting QB1 going down, definitely some modifications that have to be made. Talking to their offensive coordinator today, they do have some wrinkles that they're going to roll out this week, just trying to compensate for that lack of quarterback play, that they might have Friday night.
I guess I heard some encouraging stuff about John Collins, that they think they might be able to get him back sooner than later.
That's what they said. They said, hopefully it's just this week, and then hopefully next week he'll be back at the helm. So fingers crossed, and hopefully that's the situation.
No doubt. Antonio Hall is our guest. Q92 Sports, talking ball with Hall here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN, breaking it down for you, high school football. Perry and Jackson. Ooh, this is a little spicy, Coach. This is a good matchup between these two teams. Couple of rivals from the Federal League. Perry trying to kind of get things back together a little bit here. And, boy, Jackson's had some ups and downs early. It looks like maybe they are starting to settle in here a little bit.
Yeah, Jackson on a 2-game win streak, Perry on the 2-game losing streak. Jackson obviously had the big quarterback injury first week, or not even the first week, prior to the first week game of the season. But Eckerman's back now. Both these defenses have impressed me at times this year. Perry is definitely a run-heavy team. You know, they have great running backs in Shepard and Lemon. Jackson's more of a pass-heavy team. Obviously, with Eckerman being a 4-year starter at quarterback, they have a couple guys on the perimeter who's doing great things. Max Crowless and Jacobs, both of those guys are threats on the edge. But to me, it's going to come down to two things. The kicking game, which I think Jackson has an edge because they have another great kicker. Jackson always seems to have a great kicker. And then their offensive line. You know, if Perry's offensive line can establish that run game early, despite maybe not having their best offensive lineman, Daisy, he went out in the McKinley game last week. And then also, can Jackson's offensive line protect and give Eckerman time to get his threats on the edge involved? So it's going to come down to O-line play and the kicking game in this battle on Friday night.
Yeah, I think this could be a little bit of a coin flip between the Bears and the Panthers. All right, I can't wait to get your assessment on this one. I'll be calling Salem and Alliance right here on 1310 WDPN Friday night at 7. Aviators are flying, baby. 4-1. They're scoring. They're playing good defense. They're just they look so comfortable out there. Here comes old Ron John bringing the Quakers into Alliance, and they can put some points on the board too. I think this is going to be a fun matchup. What do you see?
I think it is too. I think this is going to be like a old-fashioned Big 12 shootout. You know, yeah, TCU and Baylor going at it, and it's going to be a 53-50 ball game. That's what I see.
I know. I can see walking out at midnight Friday night. I can see it.
Right. You know, Salem averaging 40 points a game, you know, but they also have a great run game to go along with the passing game. You know, Brandon Cana's getting it done. Their quarterback, Cletus Monroy, he's doing a great job, but Alliance just has so many weapons. You know, Hawkins is averaging 105 yards a game on the ground. Blair's their leading receiver with 85 yards a game. And then Junior Jackson is leading the whole team with 1,500 all-purpose yards. So a lot of weapons on both sides of the ball. It's going to be a shootout.
I think it's going to be fun. Alliance, Salem. If you can't make it to the University of Mount Union, we'll get you covered here on 1310 WDPN. All right. Any other games kind of really stick out to you this weekend, or you want to look back at last weekend? Look, we got to talk a little bit about Maslin and St. Ed's. How impressed were you with the Tigers last weekend? 4 years in a row, they've knocked off the Eagles.
And that's not easy because the Eagles is, you know, a premier team in Division I in Ohio, if not the country. But Maslin has their number. What impressed me most was Maslin's defense. Seeing where they were a couple weeks ago, giving up 50 points to a really good football team. And then last week playing a really good football team, only giving up 14. So I think, you know, the defensive scheme is settling in now. The kids' comfort level with the new defensive coordinator seems to be there. And now Maslin's going to be rolling moving forward.
I have not had a chance to watch Xavier Owens play, but holy smokes. I mean, I thought DeJuan Owens was good. This young fella is really good.
He's a dude. And, you know, he's a guy that you definitely enjoy watching because he plays the game the right way. Full of passion, plays with his hair on fire, and he makes plays.
McKinley Bulldogs, just keep churning them out. Just keep getting dubs. We both agree that they have a really high ceiling this year. McKinley, I think, Antonio, and I want you to talk about the balance that they have right now. Both sides of the ball, special teams. What are the Pups got going on right now?
Offense is extremely balanced, and they were fun to cover the past couple of weeks. Last week at halftime, 26 plays, they had 13 passes, 13 runs. It doesn't get much more balanced than that. Everything is going through the running game. Sophomore Kylan West is a phenomenal young man, a great football player. He runs like he's a senior already. He's physical, runs behind his pads, very patient. He sees the seam, and once he hits it, he's gone. You have two incredible weapons on the edge with Darius Hill and DJ Britt. Both of those guys had big games last week. And then their quarterback, Hayden, his pocket presence really impresses me. Keeping his feet moving, staying active, feeling where the window's going to be in the pocket, stepping up, eyes are downfield. McKinley's offense is coming into its own. But the biggest caveat is their offensive line continues to gel and get better. That was the biggest question mark to me coming into the season, replacing 3 seniors, is how that offensive line progress. And Coach Davis, the offensive line, they're doing a phenomenal job. And last week they had a really good showing.
Antonio Hall is our guest. We're talking ball with Hall. We do it every Wednesday, 5:35 here on the Sam Bourquin Show. You being the former offensive lineman, I want you to take us kind of inside the trenches there, big man. How long does it take to gel as a unit? Even if you've got guys that have been playing together for a couple of years, but then some guys graduate, some guys go down with injury. You got to piece things together. How long does it take for an offensive line to really put it all together?
Well, it takes a while for a couple of reasons. One, playing offensive line is probably one of the most unnatural things that you're going to do in sports. Like in any sport that you play, the things and movements you have to do as an offensive lineman contradicts a lot of just natural functions that you do as an athlete. And so, one, you have to get yourself right, and then you have to get right with 1 or 2 guys around you. And then those guys have to get right with all 5 guys, right? So it's a progression of learning the scheme, then learning the techniques, and then applying both. So, by week 6 or 7, you hope that your offensive line has gelled. They understand the calls, the checks, who the combos are working to, where the blitzes are coming from. There's just a lot to decipher at the snap of the ball. And when you have to have 5 guys in sync at the same time, it takes a while for that to process.
Yeah. It's like a concert, man. Everybody's got to be doing the right thing or it doesn't sound very good, right?
Exactly.
You got to be on the same page. And it's not easy. Holy cow, I don't know how you guys do it. All right. Let's take a little jump to the NFL. And you had given me a little scoop yesterday, and I was good. I sat on it. I didn't say anything about it.
I'm proud of you, Sam.
You see now I can be trusted. If you didn't know that before, I keep things tight. I keep my circle tight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I appreciate the nugget yesterday. Thayer Mumford is now a member of the Cleveland Browns, the former Massillon Tiger. He goes to plays for the Buckeyes, then he gets drafted by the Raiders, then he goes to the Patriots, and now he's with the Browns. Again, big, strong offensive lineman. Take us through Thayer's journey, if you could, and what your expectations are from him, because, hey, he might be getting thrown into the fire here sooner than later.
Yeah, he might, and I think he's definitely prepared. I mean, he got a lot of playing time in Vegas. He started quite a few games. He was the 6th lineman for quite a few games during his tenure there. I think he's a guy that's very athletic for his size. So, you could do some stuff where you're pulling him and doing some boot stuff, getting him out in the alley for an extra blocker. And he's a physical guy. Like, he likes to finish. He plays with that nastiness you want to see as an offensive lineman. One of my favorite and also worst memories of Thayer, when I was the offensive line coach at Glen Oak in 2016, we had a really good quarterback, and we pretty much were heavily favored to win the Federal League that year. Second game, Thayer takes our quarterback when he was playing defense and literally picks him up and then bounces on him. Like, both of them bounced off the ground with Thayer on top of him, broke his collarbone. He's out for the year. we still almost win the Federal League, but I think if Thayer doesn't body flop on our quarterback, we win it. But just an athletic kid, plays with high energy. I think it's a great acquisition for the Browns.
Yeah, it could be just the position. It could be just the setting that he's looking for. And we all know in sports and in life, man, sometimes you got to go somewhere else to really, get where you need to be. And maybe this is it for Thayer. We wish him nothing but the best. Also,
look at Belichick.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh my God, don't get me started. How about our local guys again here now? Dominic Robinson with the Bears, and of course Harold Fannin Jr. with the Browns. They're doing their thing, Antonio. They're doing their thing.
They are, and I'm so happy for both, but especially happy for Dom. Just seeing his growth in the past 4 years, being a defensive rotational player, and the production he's putting out so far. He has 1 sack, 5 tackles, but he's doing a phenomenal job at doing his job, holding the edge, getting down the line of scrimmage. He's even getting pressure on the quarterback when he's not getting there, making him uncomfortable in the pocket. And it's all because this guy truly masters his craft. He's worked with Des Walker, pass rush specialist, one of my buddies, former teammates, fraternity brother Rob Mathis, defensive end great and coach for the Colts, and then Brandon Jordan. So he's worked with all 3 of these guys, really trying to master that edge rush player, and you see his commitment paying off on the field.
Antonio Hall is our guest. Antonio, one more. I'm going to go out of the box on you here for a minute, because I don't think I've ever had a chance to ask you this. When you played high school ball at McKinley, and I need you to take Benson out of the equation, and I need you to take Paul Brown Tiger Stadium out of the equation. Where was your favorite stadium to play in on Friday nights, outside of obviously McKinley?
Well, you said Benson, so to me, Falls is still on the table.
I knew I should have covered my tracks.
No, I think outside of playing at McKinley or Massillon, what was a really cool environment is when we went down to Grove City. It was such a cool environment. That's when Coach Cross was still there. They actually beat us my senior year that game. Yeah. But I mean, it was like they fit everybody who could fit into Fawcett Stadium, into like Perry Stadium. I mean, it was just people were lined up all at the gates, all when you walked in. I've never seen that many people, it looked like, at one time. And it was just a great atmosphere, how you had to like drive into the stadium. And that was a very fun atmosphere.
I remember that. I broadcast the game down there, McKinley at Grove City. And, we get there really, really early. And I thought, wow, this was like 4:30. And I'm thinking, wow, this is really cool. And then just to watch it fill up 5:30, 6, 6:30, 7 o'clock. And I thought, man, this is really cool. And but I wanted to ask and see, outside of the big places you've played in, of course, Fawcett and Paul Brown, some of the stadiums that maybe you like to go into.
The Rubber Bowl, baby. You can't beat the Rubber Bowl.
Yeah, I know, the poor Rubber Bowl.
Listen,
you seen pictures of that lately? Oh, man.
I have. Oh. All the skin from my elbows and knees were left on that porch carpet they called turf. But man, we had some epic battles at the Rubber Bowl.
You sure did. That might have been the worst artificial surface in the history of mankind.
That and probably the Astrodome in the 80s. The 2 worst turfs.
2 of the worst ever. I mean, it was like literally, it was a parking lot, and it was worse than a parking lot. Can you believe guys played on that stuff for as long as they had to?
I know, man. And if you look at the knee and hip replacements and all of the CTE and concussions, it was because we're pretty much playing on concrete.
Oh my, that's like inhumane. Like, we walk on this stuff now, the beautiful grass in some places, and now the turf, Antonio, has come so far. The fair play turf, the field turf, the fair play, the stuff like that. I mean, it feels like grass. It's not, but it does. But that stuff they used to play on, I don't know how you did it. I don't know how guys did it. And now I understand. When I go back and I watch the old NFL films from the 70s and 80s, and even some of the college stadiums and that they had that terrible AstroTurf. It's a miracle that guys didn't bust themselves up more than they did.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm glad
Memories.
Memories. Great memories. Antonio, as always, brother, I appreciate you coming on and talking some football with us. Have a great call this weekend, and we'll see you in 7 days.
You too, brother.
Here he goes. Talking ball with Hall right here, Antonio Hall. Q92 Sports on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN.